School has started. That usually means something for the real estate market, but the last couple of years have been different, and 2025 is no exception to that. Hey everybody, Doug Reynolds here, your Sacramento area realtor. This is a monthly market video update talking about the Sacramento real estate market. We are in September 2025. We're going to be talking about the stats for August. We're going to be talking about what had been going on in the past, and stay tuned to the end, what's going on moving forward in the market, because right now, statistically, we got more of the same, but I think we're going to start to see maybe some differences in the market coming up here. All right, so let's jump into the stats for August 2025. You can see the median sales price. Nothing really exciting going on with the median. It's been right around 550 for, almost 2 years now. It'll be up a little bit, it'll be down a little bit, but you can see month over month down just a little bit compared to July, down a little bit compared to a year ago. Nothing really too exciting or too alarming there. It's just continued to hover around that 550 price point. In the county, highest sales price, 3.35 million, lowest 1.35. I always think it's fun to watch that massive difference between the lowest and the highest. Now, if we're looking at all the houses that sold, if you take the average sales price compared to their original listed price, they're selling for about 97% of the original listed price. Definitely some are selling above, some selling way below, but on average selling about 3% less than that original listed price. Okay, here's where it's just still kind of more of the same, frustrating news. We just don't have a ton going on in the market, and so only 934 single-family homes sold in Sacramento County for August. That's down from July. That's down from a year ago in 2024. And that's just really reflective of, we had a really just kind of dull June and July in the market. And so the properties that are closing in August, they're on the market June and July. They get into escrow, they finally close. So that's just reflective of, we had a really dull summer. Just not a ton going on. And as you can see there, days on the market has ticked up. It's up to 34 days on the market. Historically, that's not crazy, but in comparison to the last 4, 5, 6 years, that is a little bit on the higher side. So it's up a bit from July, and it's up, 9 days since this time last year. So properties are taking longer. Our properties that sold with multiple offers, around 42-43%, that has continued to kind of trickle down a little bit. A few months ago, we were around that 50% mark. So not quite as many homes selling, not as many multiple offers. This is all reflective of our very kind of dull summer market that we had. Active listings, the good news there is they have peaked. We are not continuing to see the active listings continue to just grow month over month. We have peaked, and we are tapering for the year now on active listings. So right now there's 2,329 actives. And as you can see, that's down from July, down almost 2% from July. Obviously quite a bit more than we had a year ago, as inventory has continued to increase in 2025 compared to 2024, up 23% from a year ago. And when it all shakes out, we're at about 2.4 months worth of supply. I'll talk about months of supply in just a second here. Let's go to pendings. 1,028 pending sales. Okay, here we go. That's up from July. Typically at this time of year, you start to see pendings taper off as well. Well, pendings had a little bit of a rebound right now compared to July. Almost on par with about a year ago, but I think that's going to be heading in the right direction. So months worth of inventory, we're at 2.4 months right now. Basically, that means if no new homes came on the market at all from today, at the rate that we're selling homes, how quickly would we run out of homes to sell? And so that would take about 2.5 months. Well, historically, I've been selling real estate for 19 years. 19 years ago, when I got into real estate, they all said, 6 months worth of inventory is a balanced market. It's not favoring sellers or buyers, blah, blah, blah. Well, I've been talking about this for years. That's out the window. technology, everything moves so much faster now. And so I kind of think a balanced market is sort of that 2 to 3 months range there, maybe to 4 months, but 2 to 3 months. If you got less than 2 months, definitely seller's market. And if you've got 3.5, 4+ months worth of inventory, definitely a buyer's market. And so although it kind of feels like a buyer's market right now, it's in comparison to how it's been the last couple of years, but we're still kind of in a balanced market. Yes, it is slightly leaning probably towards buyers a bit right now, but we're not in this extreme buyer's market. If you're looking at months worth of inventory, we're in a fairly balanced market. Yes, it is kind of leaning towards buyers, but not crazy because our inventory isn't out of control, okay? Now, moving forward, potential for pendings moving forward. Interest rates have dropped dramatically. We're recording this right now, they're right around 6.3%, 6.25. We have not seen rates that low in almost a year. I mean, we're talking 3 months ago in the middle of the summer, beginning to middle of the summer, rates were close to 7%. Now we're closer to 6% right now. Personally, myself, as well as anecdotally throughout the office and everything, this has really started to help kind of stimulate the market. Buyers that have been disappointed, that have been watching and looking for a while, all of a sudden they've got a new kind of glimmer of hope. Their chest is sort of out a bit. They're like, oh, wow, that house, my payment on that house is actually a couple $100 less. I'm actually willing to move forward on that property. Also, buyers that have been on the sidelines, kind of starting to dip their toe into the water, going, whoa, rates have come down. This is maybe a good time to buy because there's some homes out there available. Rates have come down. Let's take a look at this. So I've mentioned this before. I've been pretty bullish on the second half of 2025. I actually think we're going to have a pretty strong fall and winter this year in comparison to the last couple of years. And I think that's going to show up in slightly increased sales volume comparing to that time a year ago. So I think year over year sales volume hopefully is going to tick up a little bit. We're seeing that kind of in the pendings. I think pendings might tick up a little bit, closings tick up a little bit, and have a pretty decent close to this year. That's really because of interest rates. I've been talking about this for a long time now. Watch the interest rates if you want to know what's happening with the market. If rates are starting to go back up towards that 7%, we're going to see pullback. The market's going to stall. We're going to slow down. If we see them stay or continue at that 6.3, 6.25%, we're going to start to see a little bit more activity going on in the market here, okay? So that's the recap for the month. If you are wanting to get some real estate assistance, buying or selling in the Sacramento area, you can connect with me. My website's realestatewithdoug.com. Look forward to talking to you soon, and clear skies.